Hi, I'm Richard Smith, the author of the book, Such a Mind Is This, a biblical theological study of thinking in the Old Testament. This is the second in a series of videos about wisdom in the book of Proverbs. The series is called Wisdom is More Than Skill. In the first video, I explained that the definition, wisdom is the skill of godly living, is good as far as it goes, but it does not go far enough. In this video, I will examine a particular passage in the Old Testament that's often cited as evidence for wisdom as the skill and godly living. The title of this particular video is called The Builder and the Architect. So if you've seen the first video, you know we talked about that wisdom is both knowing and doing, and that we want to avoid two errors. First, doing without thinking, but obviously thinking without doing. Or especially, we don't want to be building without an architectural plan or design. Now, the passage in the book of Exodus concerns the building of the tabernacle and a group of craftsmen led by the individual Bezalel. The passage is Exodus 31, 1 through 4, so let's read it together and pay attention to the words in brown. I will also explain some of the phrases in this particular passage as we go along. I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with ability and intelligence, with knowledge and all craftsmanship, to devise artistic designs, to work in gold, silver, and bronze. So special abilities for the building of the tabernacle were given to the craftsmen. The four words are interesting. For example, the word ability is the word for wisdom in the Hebrew scriptures. And wisdom is discernment. It's knowing what matters and what to do about it in every circumstance. The word knowledge is revealed knowledge. In other words, insight given by God through revelation. The word intelligence refers to how-to knowledge, practical skills. And likewise, the word craftsmanship refers to skillful trade and labor. Then the passage says, I have filled him with the Spirit of God. In other words, these builders, these artisan craftsmen, were endowed by God with special abilities. And they were endowed with God with special understanding of the materials they used for the craftsmanship, for the designing, or the filling out, building out of the tabernacle. They were not the architect, they were the builders and the artisans. In fact, God is or was the architect. The tabernacle was a design by revelation. Exodus 26:30 says, then you shall erect the tabernacle according to the plan for it that you were shown on the mountain. In other words, the plan was revealed to them. Secondly, it's a design with specificity. Exactly as I show you concerning the pattern of the tabernacle and of all its furniture, so you shall make it in all of its details. And thirdly, it's a design by command. Exodus 31 says, the craftsman, in whom the Lord has put skill and intelligence to know how to do any work in the construction of the sanctuary, shall work in accordance with all that the Lord has commanded. On the other hand, Bezalel was the builder, craftsman, artisan. And when we build, as he had built, according to God's design, with his skills that are given to us for his glory, then there's often long-term significance and impact. I won't read this whole passage from 2 Chronicles 1, 3 through 6, but when Solomon built the temple, he sought out and found the bronze altar that was made for the tabernacle by Bezalel. So we can also think of the tabernacle and Bezalel in terms of archetypes, or as Hebrews says, a shadow of the good things to come. And think of the tabernacle as a microcosmic creation. In other words, the creation was built for worship, as his temple, as the place for human beings to serve and worship him. It was designed a certain way. I'm speaking of the earth, of course. It was assigned a certain purpose. And God, as a transcendent architect, determined in every aspect of creation, its natural laws, moral laws, and so forth, existed to glorify him and for the good of mankind. And so we are creatures made in his image, his stewards, and we are apprentice architects and builders. Again, we can think of Bezalel as us. He was, and we are, apprentice builders and craftspersons. And God gives us talents to develop and use as he did for those craftsmen. And when we use those and develop those in the proper way, in the right context, then we glorify God and bless mankind. On the other hand, misdirecting our gifts or using them for our selfish gain is idolatry and sin. So as I said in the first video, wisdom is knowing what is truly important and what to do about it. The craftsman knew what the importance of the tabernacle was and what to do about it and how to fit it out. So as the example shows, wisdom is more than skill. God is the divine architect of the tabernacle in ancient Israel and of the entire earth. And humans are junior architects and builders. So wisdom begins by acknowledging who God is and what we are. I hope this video is helpful to you. In the following videos, I will continue to flesh out the theological foundations of wisdom found in the book of Proverbs, particularly in chapters 1 through 9.